We talk about medieval battles as if they were decided by courage. But courage rarely decided anything. What decided survival were seconds of confusion, bad footing, and choices made while terrified and exhausted. Most popular accounts explain battles through tactics, weapons, and famous leaders. This video deliberately avoids that angle. Instead, we will look at the battlefield from below eye level. From the perspective of men who could not see the whole fight. From the perspective of men who did not understand the plan. From the perspective of men who had to decide whether to stand, freeze, or run. Most stories stop at the clash. We have to look further. Imagine standing in the dark just before sunrise. You are already tired. You have not eaten properly. Your boots are damp from night dew. The ground is uneven, but you cannot see where. Around you, men whisper prayers they only half believe in. Faith is less about heaven here and more about staying upright for another hour. This is not anticipation. It is quiet dread. From today's perspective, medieval battles look strangely inefficient. Large groups of armed men, yet chaos dominates almost immediately. But at the time, this chaos was logical. The first real enemy was not the opposing army. It was balance. Heavy equipment, exhaustion, and rough terrain meant that a single stumble could erase years of training. Once someone fell, others followed. Not out of panic, but physics. Here, the human factor takes control. No one intends to trample a comrade. But when bodies press from behind and vision collapses to a narrow slit, intention no longer matters. Combat itself rarely resembled skillful fighting. There was no space for elegance. Weapons became tools of opportunity. Men struck downward, sideways, blindly. They hit wherever resistance appeared weakest. From today's point of view, this seems brutal and dishonorable. But honor is a luxury of distance. Up close, survival replaces ideals. Heat built inside helmets. Breath shortened. Vision tunneled. Some men collapsed without a visible wound. Others kept fighting with injuries they did not yet feel. Here again, the human factor mattered more than equipment. Endurance and panic tolerance decided much. The ability to keep moving when every instinct said stop saved lives. Weapons reflected this reality. Cheap, simple tools dominated because they required little training and worked under pressure. The battlefield rewarded what was practical, not what was beautiful. What a soldier carried was shaped by what he could afford. That economic reality quietly decided who lived longer. Here the turning point occurs. Not when a commander gives an order, but when fear spreads faster than control. A line wavers. Someone turns. Another follows. This decision is not heroic or cowardly. It is human. And once it begins, it cannot be stopped. From this moment on, the battle is no longer about winning. It is about escape. This is where maps change. Not because of brilliance, but because ordinary men choose life over reputation. From a moral perspective, this is uncomfortable. But it is also honest. We still like to explain failure through systems and leaders. But again and again, outcomes hinge on small human limits. Fatigue. Miscommunication. Fear. Economic inequality. From today's perspective, we assume better tools solve these problems. Often they only disguise them. The human factor does not disappear. It waits. When you strip medieval battle of myth, what remains is not glory, but recognition. Recognition of how ordinary the experience truly was. Recognition that most history is shaped not by great plans or brilliant commands, but by fragile people reacting under pressure. People who were tired, frightened, confused, and trying to endure moments that felt longer than they could bear. These were not figures moving cleanly across a map. They were bodies struggling to stay upright, minds narrowing, decisions shrinking to the next few seconds. That truth is not romantic. It offers no heroism and no comfort. But it is real. And reality, unlike legend, does not need polishing, explanation, or praise to matter.